talk to your mates, talk to the people in your sector, build relationships, that you're sharing the problems between you. I mean, that's what the voiceover community does. We do talk to each other, and we do ask producers for help as well. So it's communication really that is a big part of the key to dealing with those challenges. I think increasingly there are actually more opportunities because of the available products that I can put my voice to. Podcasts, web audio, as I say, learning stuff, loads of stuff for smartphone apps. All these things are emerging, and it's allowing people like me to diversify. So I'm not just doing radio ads and tele ads. There are other products that I can do as well. Telephony is a huge area as well. I do a bit of French now and again, if they're desperate. Again, that's a big part of the communication with me and my customer, that I always have to educate them in a kind of subtle way, so they don't feel like I'm leading them by the hand and spoon feeding them, because that would just be awful. So a lot of it is showing them how it works and how I can best deliver the voice product that they want. A lot of it is, and I'm sure if you work in creative industries you'll empathise with this, a lot of it is the client doesn't often know what they want. And the producer, more often than not, if he's new, she's new, and it's a new product, is terrified of doing it wrong and doesn't really have a clear idea of how they want it to turn out. So a lot of it is having the experience and knowledge to give them as many permutations as they could possibly, too much really, over-deliver. And I think that's the key as well as building relationships with the producers, certainly with the new ones. A lot of them just want you to get on and get off the line and they're on to the next one. But for the new guys, giving them more than they actually need gives them confidence. So that's another big part of it. Loads of stuff you'll have heard. Oh, loads. Where do I start? Virgin. I do lots. I do Virgin stuff. I do on telly. I'm about to have some SES commercials come out for sofas, selling sofas. I do lots of station branding, so you'll hear me on Real Radio and Smooth FM and Classic FM. I do a lot of stuff for. But you'll hear me. I mean, I do loads and loads of different local radio commercials. So you'll hear me on an ad for a Mitsubishi dealership in Wolverhampton, and you'll hear me on a telephony thing for a hairdresser in Stoke. So I do lots and lots of different little projects.
You have? What is it?
Yeah, I did, WeBuyAnyCar.com. I'm sorry. I did, I had to, it was a tricky job actually, because it was filmed. It was overdubbing on this TV ad, and they'd filmed this Norwegian actress who was playing Keepy Uppy with a bubble. And I had to overdub her in English while she was doing it. So I had to match her lips, lip sync it, but she was talking in Norwegian, so her accent, you could see it from her voice. And I had to match. So that's, that.
I think everyone wants to hear you do
it was basically, the newsreader was this Norwegian bird, and somebody bounced a football onto, I don't remember, on the desk. Do you see it?
Yeah.
And then she suddenly leapt out from behind the news desk and started playing Keepy Uppy with a load of other people who were playing Keepy Uppy. And then she said, WeBuyAnyCar.com. My voice is insured to broadcast standard. My eyes are insured because if I can't read my scripts on stuff. And my hearing's insured because if I can't hear myself equally on stuff. So those three areas are. But in terms of looking after it, there isn't often in a working day a lot of time to look after it. Because every 15 minutes I have a session with a different client. Whether it's ISDN or MP3, sometimes it's half an hour, sometimes it's an hour, but every 15 minutes I'm talking to somebody else. So I can have just finished a whole load of scripts. I could have just recorded 14 ads, and then I was straight into the next one, and you have to be fresh as a daisy, and sight reading's perfect, and knowing all the pronunciations, and putting the punctuation in. You really have to be on top of it. So I do drink honey and lemon. If I'm really desperate, I drink Sanderson's Throat Specific, which tastes like goat's piss. But don't ask me how I know that. But it really works. Listening to source material, and again the internet helps with that, because I can just Google something on YouTube and listen to an accent, and then it's kind of locked. Sometimes clients want a very specific accent, like a northeast Hull accent, and they're really specific, and sometimes you just have to say, look, it doesn't matter that much, you know, as long as we're in the right area, we're all right. But yeah, I do. I use my Mac with iCal on it. I use my diary. My diary is everything, and everything's colour coded, so I know if it's a client session, if the male voice that I work with, Rich Sweetman, if it's his session, if I've got a meeting with somebody, then it's a different colour. A lot of it is relying on the diary and relying on email. I mean, it is a problem actually, because I'm in the studio so much, it's very difficult to find time to run the business. It's really tricky because I'm so busy delivering the products that I have to work quite hard to kind of maintain an overview. In terms of the help that I have an assistant who helps me with invoicing, I have a credit controller, I have somebody that deals with all the purchases that I do, and my accountant comes in every quarter to do the VAT. So I've set it up that way so that I'm focused solely on creating revenue for the business and doing what I'm best at, because I am not the best creator of spreadsheets. I love broadcasting because anything can happen, and it's talking to people and it's reacting to whatever's happening as well. I really enjoy that part of my work. I've started doing some stand-up as well, which is a whole new ball game, which I'm really loving. But I write as well. I write comedy and drama, and I've started writing fiction too. So there's a lot to manage, and a lot of it's down to managing my time, really. It's tricky because I've got 2 kids as well. I used to have. I started it, I was 17 when I started it. What was wrong with me? And I stopped doing that when I was 23. And it was a theatre, it was great actually. It was a theatre company that specialised in business training for businesses and services. So we did lots of stuff with local authorities and hospitals and the police, and we did loads of stuff for private business, IBM, National and Provincial Bupa. We did loads of stuff in customer care courses, or managing change, or telephone techniques, or management skills. And then for the public sector stuff, we did some fantastic stuff with anti-aggression and violence in housing offices and finance offices. Planning enforcement officers was a great one as well, because people always wanted to hit them. Librarians, bizarrely, need a lot of anti-aggression and violence training, because people just wander into the libraries when they're smacked up, and that was good. And for the hospitals, we did some really good work on complaints handling. And for the special care baby unit department at Bradford NHS Trust, we did a whole load of stuff for them on giving parents bad news, which was, I couldn't do it now because I've got kids, couldn't have done it now. But that was a really good project to work on. And we worked with St Anne's Hospice as well on caring for people who are dying and their families. So in effect, we were dramatists. We'd take the brief from the training manager, from the HR manager, and we'd just bring it to life, create a script around it, perform it, and then we'd interact with the delegates, we'd improvise with them so they could test out their skills and maybe do some case studies. So that was what the theatre company did.